Great, buddy. Let's wait the classic 2-3 minutes and then start with the stream. I am quitting all my tabs. For the future, I will maybe figure something with Chip, how we could include a little music bot here that is just like on, compared like a 10-20% volume, doing some nice background tunes, melodies. Okay. I am opening already the assets. Bitcoin. Solana. All on the dailies first. AMD. Hype. Also in the top 3. Hype. Bitcoin, Sol Hype. AMD. What else? Intel, SanDisk. So we already have 6 assets, and then I will change one of the tabs. Intel Corporation Nasdaq chart. This is perfect. Oh, retracing. Oh. I think today is like this week is like one of the most interesting weeks I've had in like half a year of trading, investing, whatever you want to call it. Like, this is fucking nuts what happened now. And SanDisk. So we have 6 open because the MacBook is really good with the computing power because it has the M4 Pro chip. But the huge problem is also always the latency, right? And market data is all. Sweet. Okay, cool. Great to have you, lads. I am sure some people will join or leave throughout the stream. We are in times of absolute fear. Let me quickly open the little drawer for Coco so she can get comfy. Okay, we're fully prepared. GM Kali, GM Don, Jim Yondu, nice to see you. I see, Yondu, you do not have AlphaBlocks yet. Good thing that we are doing giveaways in the live stream, so you sticking in this live stream already makes you eligible for an AlphaBlock. You will need 3 to get verified. GM Remos, GM Hamoda, Infinite Recording, Right Star, myself, and Coco is with us. She's with me in the room. So I think we can perfectly start. So nice to see you all. Let me quickly share my screen. Entire screen. You should now see my Discord. And I'm changing to Trading View, and I will probably stay here more or less for the whole time. Just tell me if you see me jumping through the tabs. And if it's working, I'm starting the stream analysis. 5 minutes per ticker from now on only. So we can adjust the pace a little bit to the upside. Just quickly give me a signal if you can see everything. Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, cool. What do we have here? So last Friday, we skipped the stream. Today is the 6th. So last stream was here. Would have been here. Okay. So what happened in the last 2 weeks? That is something from here. We're directly charting with Bitcoin because it's the most telling. Like this was kind of the range, right? Like this is the range that people thought, and you also see if I zoom like that, it's also the point of control. The most action happened here. So I have bad news for you, and those news are that this level like those are called necklines, right? From where the price is dump. Here we also we had a bottom formation and rejected here again. So those two clusters, no matter what happens to crypto, how positive or negative, are resistance. Okay. Absolute resistance. Which means, yes, we have a little bounce. As I said yesterday in the aggregator, I bought coins. All the coins are up 5 to 15%. Since the downtrend is so horrible, I took 70, 80% of the profits already, and I'm looking to reshort. I'm looking to reshort something like this. Yeah. So I do believe that the prices will top somewhere like here, and then possibly, probably do something like this. Yeah, I'm on purpose doing that with like that little painter and not like the perfect symbols, because this is not about the aesthetics. This is about like showing you and everyone a little bit more how to quickly get an overview of an actual situation. Because when you're doing like posts for the community and it's like one post and it's like medium macro or whatever, you can take your time, but this is what you should be able to quickly identify. Yeah, we were ranging, we found a little support here, bounced higher low even until we were on top of the range, rejected nasty from EMA 100, 200, ATR and Bollinger Bands, top of the channel, rejected, lost the lower high. So therefore, at this point, we lost the bullish trend again, confirmation of the downtrend, rejection of the higher low, which led to the downside cascade, neckline, little bounce, rejection again. Same story here, and same story will be here again. Doesn't matter if it's from here or here. There will be a retrace again, and what people overestimate, I believe, because it's so easy to be bullish. Yeah, cool. We're up 12%. We called like 10% with yesterday's call in aggregator, but we're down 40%. This is a clear downtrend. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And this is super fine. This is an opportunity. I know, Don, you and me are welcome to you. Mexican Mass Palm Strip. Don and me, by the way, are like here, like very much aligning that we're just looking forward to see Bitcoin properly below 60K, right? Because this is a reaccumulation that you want to see. This is what you want to see. This is what we deserve. We spoke for months about taking profits at 80K, 90K, 100K, 110K. Then we were at 120K, 125K, and all the way back down. If you did not take profits this time, let this be a lesson. We're not saying this for fun, but because this is how financial markets work. You must take profits or the profits are not real. It's super, super simple. But you make the most amount of money definitely in the bear market and not in the bull market. Like what you are doing in the bull market is you should be realizing your profits, but you're making those profits in the bear market because you would not be able to take profits in the bull market if you are not buying and starting too long and build a portfolio in the bear market. I hope this is crystal clear. Which leads me to the second asset, like one of the most accelerating altcoins, Solana. Also, like this looks like a nice bottom formation. Probably if you DCA into this zone here, you will be fine long term, 100%. Because if you DCA those levels, then your entry, your average entry is somewhere around here. And I think this is okay, really, for the long term. But we mustn't forget that we already bounced way more, like, right on Bitcoin. We just checked it on Bitcoin. It was 12%. Down to, we're up 20% already on Sol, right? This is why I told you to buy yesterday and not today, because today you should be scaling out. It's a timestamp here, 4 p.m. Bitcoin is Sol hype. I also added XRP. This is fucking nuts. This is fucking nuts. How much we went up in the meantime. But if you check it from perspective, like, really, guys, Solana went down minus 55%. Yeah, in a matter of the last 2 weeks, basically, right? Doesn't matter if it was from here, or from here. In the last 2-3 weeks, this is insane. And this is one of the reasons why, even though it might feel hurtful, throwing some into spot, at least on a day like yesterday, when everyone is saying, like, asking, like, is it over? Is this comparable to COVID crash? Is this a black swan event? Yes, it's a black swan event, like, definitely, per definition, with the nuke. But my biggest issue with this is that there are no horrendous news out. Like, yes, we have Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, Russia, Venezuela, USA, all those horrible wars brewing, maybe Thailand, China, who knows what's next. But the thing is, this did not happen yesterday. This did not happen in the last 2 weeks. Those are conflicts going on for months and years. Yeah, the Ukraine-Russia war is going on for 3 years now. It's horrible, but it did not escalate in the last 2 days. This is not the reason. Bybit, Binance, Blowfin, BitGet, Hyperliquid, Apex Pro, Avantis, Omnivariational, all the exchanges that you know about, OKEx, Bittrex, you can still withdraw from them. No one halted withdrawals. No huge, it's not like Wintermute got liquidated yesterday. And this is the one thing, like, there will probably be some news, but I just want to make this clear. Solana went down 55% without major bad news. Yes, there was, despite the DeFi, what was the hack? Step? Was it Step Finance? DeFi hack, which was mediocre. Maybe someone of you remember, was it the Step Finance hack, or who had that exploit? There was a Solana protocol. Kuba is next, you think? Yeah, Kuba, yeah, Step Finance. Thank you so much for clarifying. Yeah, bro. By the way, extreme shout out to Theophil. We were actually here, Guardian of Nos and Pheromone Discord bot. By the way, Theophil and me, we were the first partners between, like, AlphaBlock, like, in terms of an AlphaBlock partnership. Like, our friendship goes on for 4 years now. It's crazy.
Absolutely crazy. You guys are
Yeah,
killing it.
I really hope Cuba's not happening. We wanted for the birthday of my girlfriend and the 30th birthday of a good friend go to Colombia in summer, but with all this shit happening, it's just not safe. So we will have to figure something out. Like, it's really sad that we have so many conflicts, and there will not be an end to them, unfortunately, probably. Yeah, but this is I will just write here, Step Finance. Yeah, so we have it black on white, so the people can also have a look. Yeah, and this is what I want to stress. Okay, just here the time frame, how much we went down. There is no trade to be had right now. I will not draw something here, because The buy was yesterday. The bounce is to be played, and then we have here a cluster where we should reject, or here. Okay. So I'm writing here just an R. I hope that's clear. At some point, I don't want to write anything in the boxes anymore. But yeah, and I just want to state that there is no support. Spot buying, okay. Leverage, mostly short side only, okay. So the only thing that I really can recommend, like as I said, on a day like yesterday, yes, I have a P&L flex and exclamation marks that I shared, okay. I just want to make super clear, I trade with cross leverage, okay. So just because it says 30x, I still had no liquidation price. Yes, my cross leverage enables me to borrow 30 times more money than I can, like I have. Like those accounts, usually in times like this, per Bluefin, Omni, whatever, per account that I trade, I have like a few $1,000s in margin. And then my position size is like per trade idea is usually $10,000 to $50,000 per trade, which is the reason why when a coin moves 2% and I say, okay, I take 50% profits, then I took $100 and let the rest run. In this case, XRP ran 10%. So I'm quite happy that this happened, but I wanted to make this crystal clear. I'm not 30x leveraging my accounts. I said buy this. I will never endorse like use leverage, use no leverage, whatever you need to know yourself. But this is how this happens that I can like share a leverage trade actually. I will cover one more chart and then so we stay in the timing and then I will check your comments and questions. Hype topped, definitely. I spoke about this basically in every stream. It was one of my best trades. Hype went up over 80%. This is too much, especially in those conditions. Why? Because one of the biggest drivers, like besides culture, for the high price are the buybacks of the trading volume. The thing is just that people are trading way less. The open interest nuked in every exchange incredibly in the last day. And what does that mean? Less open interest, less volume traded, less fees generated, less hype bought back, overextended chart plus 80%. So what are you doing? What did I do? Yeah, of course, we are betting on strength. What did we do? Oh, hype is up 80%. My Bitcoin back is down a lot. How about is it some good time to like everything is down? This is the only thing I make money with. So a human reaction doesn't matter if it's a perfect reaction or not for your portfolio, but a normal human reaction in such circumstances is that the one thing that you made money with, obviously you're selling some hype, obviously you're stacking some USDC, obviously you're buying some Bitcoin with that money. Yeah. So I would go ahead and draw Fibonacci retracement because this is the most healthy one. I will erase this line. 1 second. I will erase those lines and just let the Fibs speak for themselves. I will erase the big one. I will put the mark here to signal. If you see this little symbol in the streams or in my charts. What the fuck? I turned it around. I will leave it like this. So this trade is close, took profits on the leverage part. Now we're looking for a nice re-entry. This is an important line, so it would be either here, yeah, our beloved EMA, and the 0.5 level, which would go along with where we had the bottom, then a rejection to the downside here, another rejection. So this could be an old resistance here also. Okay, I'm painting this in here because I find that very beautiful. Resistance resistance. Yeah, we bottomed, resisted again, tried to bottom, resisted again. Here also resistance. Here it flipped into support. So there is a potential that we're front running this and that the $29 to $31 level is going to be the next support because, of course, due to my higher time frame, you cannot see that perfectly. But we're down 12%, right? So when we're here, that would mean we would be down 20%, which could then open us the doors for the extension either from here or from here. I hope it's okay. Like if I'm just trying out different things in the streams, like for educational reasons. And like the last times I did like stop loss and target. But I think as we are also just like playing with spot right now in this level, to show you a little bit how many percent I believe it goes down, and then either in this zone or that zone fails and we go to the golden pocket area. Yeah, this is a beautiful area here. One of both will be my rebuys and re-entries into hype. Yeah. And otherwise, it would obviously be again here, but this is what I'm seeing for hyperliquid, but it definitely topped. Like, what the fuck? 100%. That was the top. Cool. So 3 charts done, roughly 15 minutes. We're well in time. Hamuda, I think we will go down to 200 weekly MA, which is now at 58K. That's correct. Maybe we get a sweep below, but should be a good level to DCA. 100% agree in the long term. In the long term, we are now getting to the levels where your stop loss, again, like as I told you with hype, and it was correct from $20 to $38. There are levels for like the proper coins, or not even a proper coin, but an asset can just be so overextended that the only reasonable way is some relief, at least, even if it's for a negative reason, or the evil in exclamation marks reason could be. And even if it's just to liquidate the people that started shorting too late, this is reason enough for market makers or for exchanges to hunt the positions and to allow them in reversion, as I covered it here for Bitcoin. It might be the only reason why we're extending to wreck all the late shorters that entered here, take their liquidity. Now people get hopeful again. I'm saying, okay, now we already bounced 15-20% since we said we're buying, maybe 10% more, and then we should get lower. If we start building a higher low, that's great. What do we think will happen to markets if a new war starts? So the thing is, in a bull market, bad news get ignored, and in a bear market, good news get ignored. Once the market starts reacting again positively to the good news, then we know it doesn't mean that the bear market is over, but the bear cycle is over. It's not necessarily the case that a war has to accelerate prices more to the downside. Because the thing is, we do not live in a peaceful world right now. Yeah. So there were a few years ago when there was no war going on, the Ukraine-Russia conflict like had an impact on the markets. Now not anymore. Like the markets did not even react to Venezuela getting bombed and like their communist president getting escorted to the US. The market did not react at all to this. This is my take on this. Welcome Tomilo. Welcome Supremer. Welcome Pigeonhead. JJ's. Nazgul. Great to see you. Drino. Whoever of you does not have 3 AlphaBlocks, drop your Solana address in the comments. I'm giving away 8 units today. But only if you do not have 3. Yeah, okay, so this is the take on hype. AMD, one of my favorite companies with a future outlook. I'm also using AMD processors for Monero mining. Not that this has anything to do with the with the price. I'm just saying it's also cool. It can be positive if a company or a cryptocurrency is so useful, or their products or their protocols or their software are so useful that there is a reason for you to be part of that other than money. And for me, companies like this are AMD, are Intel. A crypto project like this would be Monero for privacy, AlphaBlock and Infinite because the communities are amazing and they build cool tools. You know what I mean, yeah? Hyperliquid, Hype Token, buybacks, maybe rebate on trading fees. Whenever Blowfin releases their token, I will have a big stake. Like, yeah, AMD, Intel, Nvidia, SanDisk. We have an insane shortage on memory space, on computing power. It makes sense to be a shareholder here. Yeah. What I do not love at all about this is, yeah, you see the EMAs flipping, 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 and you see that we just lost this trend line. This is not beautiful. But we also see what a huge level is here, and we see that this was the high of the latest run. So at least AMD is offering us like this. That was the top. Yeah. So this is a level of opportunity. Obviously, this here. This is not meaningful enough to me. This is. Okay. Let me straighten them. This. So 3 levels of opportunity. 3 levels of opportunity to DCA into stocks spot or on confirmation of a bottom, leverage longs, holds. I think it's rather simple here. The thing is just we broke down here. So if I would long, okay, or when I will long, let's say from here, then I would just take this 10% trade for now, okay? Because this is resistance. This is the EMA. The EMA is now resistance. And here's a point of control here. It was a lot of business, okay? So resistance gets the R, gets the S for support, gets the S for support, gets the S for support. Super simple levels, super simple levels. Always just from band to band, yeah, from box to box. This is how you trade. If we lose this level, you have a free short to the 160s here as well. Amazing clean chart. I love it. Save the outlet, copy image, MD chart. If there's enough time, can you check Oracle? Yes, brother. So what I did was, like I'm saying, like there are like those fixed assets or the amount of assets. And then I always try to like really have it done, the stream, after 1 hour. And that's why I'm kind of timing myself. I'm conditioning myself. Let's say it like this. Yeah, I'm still making mistakes because I love this job. I tend to talk too much, I guess. Or not too much, but yeah. I'm just looking at the time and give 5 minutes per chart. So we also have 5 to 10 minutes for your guys' questions. And this way we can look at 10 charts because in my opinion, you can only manage and monitor 5 to 10 trades at the same time anyways. So why would I cover more assets? Yeah. Cool, AMD done. Intel looks way more controlled and bullish, yeah? I think you can immediately agree. Hyperextensions, yeah, you see that this is a fib level. Hyperextension, always hyperextending. This is shit. This is fucking shit. Like if you have to say, it's a double top. It's not beautiful. The problem is we might just go down here and then like, you know, this might be even a fractal, like just an M. Just bum, 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 bum. And then trend resume, okay? Intel, way more controlled. Way more control. Here. Super. I think you can even reuse that angle. Let's copy paste this. Look. Look. This is what you should look out for. And on this asset, you can also see Coco Confluence doing a fucking great job with the bottoms. Yeah. So you always want to compare where is it working better or worse. Like those are profit taking signals. Obviously, when we speak about stocks, you use the orange signals as buy opportunities and those as a take profit. Just when you have a lot of divergences together, then it sums up as a shorting signal, but only when you see the uptrend being broken. Okay, so if you see this and then price breaks down, there's no need to like short here. But if you then see a bounce, a lower high after this, then you would enter here. I would not enter an asset that's so strong that like those signals are still valid because they say those are the divergences. This is overbought. And it was true because even if you would have started to short here, you only would have to hold through this and you would be in profit, in profit, in profit, in profit. Yeah. But you need patience with this. Intel is a much cleaner chart. Buy, sell. That would be on you. Like there was no signal from the indicator, but do you want to buy or not? Right here, buying, buying, buying. I think this is very, very clean. And what I love is that the trend angle holds true here and there. This is what we want to see. Then copy paste it for the downside as well. Is this a beautiful channel to trade? Here is a different angle. Why is it a different angle? Because it's one great, perfect trend here. You see? This is amazing. This is amazing. This is amazing. And this is why I'm really bullish. Like here you have a point of control. It could be a topish formation, but you have the full support of EMA 100 and 200. Yeah. Those are uptrending assets still. It's a way different trend than crypto. That's why I wanted to put them against this. This is completely a different story. Only thing that stands out is hype, and this is the relative strength, but it's overextended. So we want to buy it rather here. Bitcoin, Sol, and Co. are a clear downtrend. Yes, you have bounces, but you want to reshort them. Those are clear uptrends. Those are great companies. We will need the computing power. Maybe they will go down a little bit, but fundamentally, AMD and Intel Corp are far superior compared to Solana. This is an uptrend. This is a gift. Like if this does something like this here to the downside, craps a little bit, you buy. If you get again towards here or even here, you just buy Intel. Clear uptrend. Fundamentally better than Solana. SanDisk. Incredible chart, no? Let me just get that smaller. So this went through the roof so much. We have to go out of the daily to hopefully find more context. Context is that we did not even move into the bearish, into the red zone of the ATR bands. We're still on the positive side. And what we now look out for is how could we continue to trade that, right? This is super interesting. What can we do with this asset? Seems like it's a lockout trend. It's not. It's not. It just looks like it's up only. Yes, kind of. It went down 25%. Still a great company. Nothing changed. Uptrend, still intact perfectly. Yeah. One little overextension. I think that's a nice buying level. It's a nice level to maybe add a little bit to Sanders given. Or buy it for the first time. Here, point of control. Getting out of the zone. It's amazing. Here, bottom, top, somewhere here, golden pocket, whatever suits you the best. Here, nice. Nice level to add. Can probably go continue like this. Quite the simple charts. No real drama about it. Maybe, yeah, maybe a lower high. Maybe the overextension. Both possibilities are extremely valid still to try the upside and then trade to the downside. We can already anticipate that here will be some struggle. There was a recent high. It would need to overcome this. So this would be my first take profit. Then if we struggle, trade back down, maybe then the trend is a little bit more over. We go to 480. But those are the two possibilities that I see, okay? Either this is the top and we go down and then we extend, or the other way around. But those are the clear levels that I'm looking out for. Until I will quickly stop the stream. I'm back in 2 minutes, and then I will continue with your suggestions. I will then cover Oracle, and maybe one of you has one other crypto ticker. See you in a bit. Jim. Okay, cool. So I've checked the channels. I got Oracle ones. Entire screen should work out perfectly again. So I'm firstly getting to Oracle. Oracle comparison, nice. My uncle worked once with Oracle. Wow. What the fuck? Wasn't the Oracle founder richer than Elon Musk for a week? That alone would mean to me that this is not bad. Oh, no battery. What the fuck? Let me check. Yeah. What happened? What? This is crazy. Okay, we are at point of control. Three rather simple levels. Did someone die or what's going on here? It looked like a shitcoin chart. Horrible. Might have a mean reversion from somewhere like here, like to here. Wow. The problem is that they have so much resistance ahead. This is a horrible. Like I'm genuinely amused by looking at this chart. Here, the resistance. This is the worst. Here are all the like probably price will be able to do something positive again, and then the EMAs will come down. Like this is the worst cluster here. This is where the moving averages will come down, where we had recent highs. Huge resistance. Here you get the normal R. Sorry. Here you get an R. Yeah. Here's point of control. POC. Shoop. And this is a this is not even like support in that sense, it's reaccumulation range. And below you have collapse of the company, in my opinion. Like if you lose that here, all that, like everything they did is irrelevant. Man, there's so much aligning that somewhere here must be the bottom. You have like a 40% upside just to the next resistance, depending on how deep it goes. Like maybe from here. Yeah, you are like at 40%. Crazy. I don't understand what happened to the company. They have no cash flow. They've sold. Yeah, bro, 100%. Yes. Yes, 100%. Mega took profits. It's you, probably like, bro, like also those people are doing like a little math, like, you know, how can I make the company look nicer? Uh, maybe even just waited for the headline that he's finally richer than Elon Musk, and then literally sold some shares because he knew that's a once in a lifetime opportunity. The levels are super clear. Super clear levels. Insane. Cool. GM Aqua. Oh,
GM.
what a fucking horrible chart. What a fucking horrible chart. Bro, do you want me to chart anything? We have two more charts to go through before ending the stream.
You probably charted everything that I wanted to see prior. So I don't want to ask you to rechart anything, but if you want to look at the SLV chart for me, that would tell me what the fuck
You
is
mean
going on.
silver?
Yeah,
Mm.
I've
Yeah.
still got $3,000 tied up in silver, and I've been having trouble making a decision on what to do. So
CMC, TVC, Caledcom. Mm, here. Everything is shitcoin nowadays. Like you see, okay, Intel, what I said is like, it's crazy because what I like to do sometimes, like if you have a clear trend, I just copy pasted and checked if I can fit it somewhere. Was the case here, but the support on Intel is unmatched. Great. Then AMD, super clear levels as well. Hype is a profit taking zone, maybe buyback 30, between 30 and 20 again. Solana bounced nicely, has a lot of resistance ahead, same as Bitcoin. Silver, the thing is that it's either here, like here you have the EMA 100 and 200 would probably go hand in hand here. I don't even want to speak about this level here, but most obviously point of control, because the thing is, if we're really losing, like that was the recent high, it's a good level. So it really has to be like somewhere around right now, or we're seeing again a 20% decline, and then you're getting towards the point of having lost all the work that has been done.
yeah,
And then on the
and
other
I
side,
lost money
yeah.
again.
And here we had a recent high. So I would argue that this is resistance now, which means that this would be a good take profit in case we have a bounce. I cannot call that support because it's only because we have the EMA 100 on the daily. Doesn't make it support. It's just supportive that here's the EMA. So I think right now, actually, a metal that went down like 50%, it's so important. It's a solid area to buy. I mean, and if we should be able to reclaim this, then you have an amazing longing opportunity also with an absolutely clear stop loss. So whenever we're back above this level, you would have the stop loss that we're just, as long as we make somewhat of a higher low, you can even add. And then you have the extension in a clear 2-to-1 setup when you if you let's not say when, but if you get something like this. Otherwise, my next entry would be rather here with this as a target. Right at this second, now that we already bounced 20%, I would not buy, but if we can flip this into support, like those would be my two setups for silver. Now after this move, I just don't see a reason to short, right? Like this is my point. This is why I'm not drawing the short entry here. Let me copy the image. Silver. That's really, yeah, sort of bubble. This is totally true. Like AI is a bubble. AI is a clear bubble. I'm not saying that AI doesn't have the chance to like take over. That's not what I mean. But the issue is how much it was hyped, like, pardon the wording, but every fucking asshole is trying to sell you a course about AI right now. It's just the truth.
Yeah, yeah. A bunch of
And
people who never
yeah,
had technical skills now are, owning technical companies and trying to offer a solution that's chat GPT wrapped. It's
yes,
shameful.
yes. We're obviously not talking about companies like NVIDIA, Intel, AMD standards that you need for computing that help accelerating this. We're not talking about XAI, about Anthropic, about OpenAI with ChatGPT and everything. We're not talking about those companies, but exactly what you said is completely right. Like some kids like Frank from DGOTS who like mega rock so many people is sitting there and like, yeah, I vibe coded this tool with Claude that helps you quit the subscriptions. Bro, you do not need AI for this. You can literally open right now, you can open your iPhone, you can go to payments, and this lists all the subscriptions that you have tied to your Apple account and literally just click cancel subscription. This is not AI. This is just some junior developer can pull this out of the pockets. And this is the huge issue that we have right now is the AI labeling, is this overselling of subscriptions or like products that are not even products, and therefore shareholders got hyped up, maybe like with Oracle or something, and then they figure, hey, nothing's really happening. Also, ChatGPT on thinking mode in the newest model got asked to display the prolonged revenue of the company itself, of OpenAI. And there is a big curve that it is like there's always a year of tens and hundreds of billions just in cost. And then those new developments lead to more subscriptions and more like tokens being bought by people that want to build something, that want to use it. And you have a year of profits. And then you again have to have incredible reinvestments that are way higher than 2 years ago into more infrastructure, because the second one AI model has some crazy development, you can literally ask Claude to train itself off, off of OpenAI, and then you can ask ChatGPT to train itself off of Opus. So this is kind of a little bit the problem, that you're always front running each other's company.
Yeah. Fragmented, very fragmented. Like, it's crazy, bro. I could, because I do the cloud and I run it locally. It's not hard to do. You know, it's really easy to do, actually. It's really easy to get it in Visual Studio Code. All it takes is 3 minutes of a YouTube video. And just to like see what I could do. And you know me, bro. You know I've never been someone who's been a software engineer, and I take no shame in that. It's just always been the truth. I've always been more of a salesman or a business development character. Um, it's just not normal that I was able to build. And again, it's nothing special, so I'm not pitching it or anything. But like, I built a broker, and I don't want to say I built. Claude built a brokerage style accounting lot for crypto users that could do like FIFO, LIFO allocations, or highest in, first out, lowest in, first out. That's 894 8949 tax ready. Like, I built that. I built a DJ turntable tool, but I didn't do anything. I just told Cloud build it, and it did. And then I wrote deploy to Versal, and it did. So like, it's just, it is all bullshit, and I see right through it. So when my buddies tell me, "Oh, we're making an AI company," like, you're not making an AI company. You're trying to run some scheme. You know, it's no different than pump fun for fucking tokens. This vibe coding shit is like pump fun for companies.
Correct. I fully agree. And I love that you say like Claude build, and it's so funny, like whenever I have these conversations while building something with Claude, and I say like, "Oh, thank you, like that really helped me." And then like even the LLM tells you like, "Hey, uh, it wasn't me. Like there was a team effort. That's like your thing." And I'm like, okay, like with the, let's say with the Coco Confluence indicator, which was my stuff and my code, and it just helped me optimizing. like then you know yourself, like, yeah, like this is really my effort. But it also says that when you just told it that you just have an idea, you read something, here is some data, here is some PDF, here's a screenshot of someone that built something. Can you explain me the logic? Can you rebuild this? And then it's done. And then like the chat GPT or Claudes of this world will always tell you like, no, you did this. This is your effort. Where I'm like, hey, wait, this is not even my copyright, but the AIs or LLMs love to keep you entertained and positive and gaslight you into the compliments that yes, you deserve them for building something and for, studying, learning, building. Yes, this is amazing. But the problem is that it can also trigger this like wannabe Wolf of Wall Street, you are a senior developer psychosis. And this leads to apps being published and people using software where no one did an audit. This person never coded anything, and the person cannot tell if the AI accidentally put a backdoor in its software that just steals all the data or shares it to some cloud service or whatever. And this is one of the reasons why we see a chart like Oracle, in my opinion, because you see, it's the next big thing. He was the richest man. The Oracle CEO was the richest man above Elon Musk, and the chart is down more than Bitcoin within like 2 months. This is what happens because the shareholders are too excited. Then
Yeah.
people even start leveraging. Like buying Intel is cool. Buying AMD is cool. It's cool if you buy the stocks and then whatever you have your salary in 2 weeks again, and you buy another like 2 Intel stocks, 1 AMD stocks, and you can stomach it if it goes minus 90%, which is the same thesis that we have right now, right? It's like I can buy some Solana spot, or I can buy zero point 0.2 Ethereum. I can buy $200 of Bitcoin because this is my pace. Like this, like I have the ability to save or to invest a 4-digit sum per month. This is like my level that I can invest for the next 1-2 years if the bear market would be 1-2 years. But what most people do is, cool, I'm taking a loan, I'm doing leverage, I got stopped out, I got liquidated, I will not participate in the markets. And this is why the hyper liquid open interest just nuked like 90% compared to last week, or something like that can happen because people just run out of margin. People cannot participate anymore. And then you have a day like yesterday, all you had to do was like having $100 left and you could buy one Solana and one Hyperliquid yesterday, and today you are already up 20%. But it's always the same story that people exactly on those days do not have a dollar left. I was reading from one of the bigger accounts on X that he had a few friends that traded themselves into 7-8 figures in a cycle that we just had. And
And they were
yesterday he got
asking for
asked,
10,000.
yeah, what the fuck? How can you ask someone for $10,000 if you had 8 figures? Like if you would have just, if you had 8 figures, if if you had 8 figures and you just put 7 figures of it, or if you had 1 million and you just put 100K into some stable coin yield or in something super boring just to make like 1% a month, you would make those 10 or 100K like every single month. And
Not
this is
everyone can
what,
be as smart as not everyone can be as smart as you know like everyone knows 2.5. If you're blessed enough in life to see 2.5, 2.5, that's your moat. Because now you get mate. And if you have to give someone 1% on the year because of it, who fucking cares? Because that 1% doesn't come out of your front end, it comes out of whatever they pull out. You take that 2.5, you go, right? There's just so many, you buy cash flow at that point. And I think that's the main thing that like these leverage people who, granted, it's very impressive what they're able to do. I mean, if I could run an account up to $1 million, believe it, I would. But it's almost like the literacy in what they do just ends right there. Because you can generate off of 4%, like you just said, 3 to 4%. You can generate $80,000 a year off 2.5, and that's just from T-bills, bonds, and even just high dividend stocks. Like, there's two different games, and I'm so glad you brought that up because so many people don't even realize that.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. And this is why we speak about that or are so vocal about this, that there's such a huge misconception how much your money is worth it and how many people in crypto gaslight you into being a fucking loser. Oh, you have your 9 to 5. I could never have someone else as my boss. Dude, what are you even saying? Like those people are exactly the ones uh, that are now like suicidal. I don't want anyone to be suicidal. It's just a problem that the people that called other people that just did it the right way, how it's healthy, losers. This is what makes you feel poor. Why do I live in an old house that I renovate? Why do I not live in a villa at the age of 24? Because it's normal. Those are like huge achievements, and you're great the way how are you doing it. And this is also why I love bear markets, because they make the people more human again. Like, I'm not saying that I like this environment because of the pain that people have. It's the opposite. It's because right now people realize, oh shit, even if I re-roll my portfolio with $1,000, I can completely make it again. But a few months ago, people literally called each other losers for having a career. Like, just imagine that. Like, this is now unimaginable.
Yeah, yeah,
But it was the
and
reality.
it's I put shame on those people because it's like, bro, first off, the reason why I have been able to, I mean, I'm the most excited for this bear market because this is going to be the bear market where I can be the most consistent I've ever been with no fear. And the no fear comes from the hard work that we put in. And like another thing that's just great about the bear market is it allows you to work hard and excel at what you're doing. And like crypto is now just another addition, another avenue for you to make great money and, you know, really, really, like you said, make it, re-roll your portfolio, and you have a chance at a level playing field again. And like all of them, it's not, they're all broke. I met up with, a lawyer who was in the Pudgy Penguins. I had dinner with him in the Manhattan. And bro, like he showed me every single crypto Twitter account and he was like, "Yeah, that guy's funded by the Albanian mob or that's not his money." Like none of it's their money. The people who actually have money, they're not flaunting their money on Twitter. And like just like when we take a rapper in America and we give them drugs and guns and we give them everything they need to look cool because that sells, like the same way they sell records to kids, they sell coins to traders. So they use the KOLs and they use them as like marketing tools, but nothing's theirs. And as soon as they put the phone down, the life's gone. Bro, I'd rather be struggling to pay rent or, my mortgage on a house that's mine than go online. Everyone thinks I'm something, but then when I put down my phone, I know that like deep down, I'm not rich. I'm just online pretending. And I think that's even more shameful than working a job, right? Because
$100%.
there's nothing wrong with being human, dude. And yo, this is a weird tangent, but when we were talking about OpenAI and Claude and everything, what these LLMs do, bro, that gratification reward system that they use, they know that most people never get told that they did a good job when they did a good job on something because they know most people who use it are employees, especially when they're using the premium versions. And like the same way we speak about how when you're trading crypto, the same areas in your brain light up as working out, cocaine, and gambling. Like they have found a way to like keep you engaged by saying you're doing a great job. So they have found a way to give you like that artificial hit of dopamine because now the system hypes you up, and like you said, now you're in this 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 mindset that you're like a Silicon Valley tech founder, and it's an escapism. It's literally an escape from reality. People are using their imagination, but it is a little dangerous too, especially when the right person gets a hold of the snake oil, and they have a network where they could conduct arrays from or something. Like, that's what gets people hurt.
Yep, perfectly said. Like, thank you for sharing this so openly, like your thoughts and what you hear, and like to everything is like a grain of salt, to everything is some truth, some overextension, but the bottom line is like completely true. And I think a lot of people aren't aware of this so much, but if you check how many fundraisings just ended up in no product, you have to start to wonder, how could this not be a setup? How could this have been not a setup? Like, of course, I bet like from 100 startups, and this is what people don't understand, right? Like an ICO, an IPO, some fundraising, there's no difference if you do that for Ripple. Yeah, like the XRP token is great and horrible at the same time. People love hating on XRP so much. It was one of the best performers ever since. In 2017 to now, you have 100x in the token, yet people say, yeah, the Ripple company is selling their tokens. Yes, this is their right. Those tokenomics are transparent. People are speaking for 8 years that Ripple company is publicly selling XRP tokens. This is the least crime of almost all crypto projects that you've ever seen. Because why? Why am I saying this? Because they do it transparently. They do not hide that they are selling. They are selling officially from the treasury, because this is the only way to fund the Ripple company. And now Ripple as a company is in a pre-IPO phase where only accredited investors can buy big tickets. And then there will also be a public IPO. And then the private Ripple company will be a public traded stock simultaneously to XRP. And they collabed with so many governments, also PIS, the Oracle, has a collaboration with the American government now. And like those are like companies where you can say, okay, that holds the value. Like Hyperliquid, like even we hate for some reason Binance, which I think is also to some point really gratified, but still the BNB token also did 200, 300, 500x, same as Solana had a price of $1, went to 200 plus. Post FTX, it went to $7. From $7, it went to 250. And now Solana is getting dirt cheap. And now, while the Solana price is down, everyone talks about how Solana has no utility. And what I think is, yes, Solana probably threw away their potential to flip Ethereum, but it doesn't mean Solana cannot stay a top 10 currency.
We
And
know it will. We know it will, because they have they have done such a good job at being in the meta when it was time to be in the meta, that to them, they you've seen it. We know what happens when you try and just count Solana out. There will be something. I don't know what it is yet. There's no way we can know what it is, but they will capture a meta, and either Solana, has another drawdown and it just goes low again, and the rally, like when from what I've noticed, because now I've been here for a few cycles, so I've seen so much. From what I've noticed is that sometimes a mega dump really gets people so excited because, like you said, they re-rolled, they're back in, they have a second chance, and they're positioned. So I think any lower on Solana is generally just going to be better for the long-term growth, because also the inflation issue, that's an older issue now. The inflation issue was something that I flagged in 2023 and 2024 and 2025. But now let's look at the inflation. The inflation on Solana is actually a lot different now. It's about 2 times less than what it was. And it seems that with the emissions and unlocks that are few and not many now, that inflation is a less worry now and more of just FUD. So
Yeah.
that's something to think about because the inflation's not nearly as bad as it was. It's still there, but now it's a talking point for everyone, but it's a late talking point. Not financial advice. I'm not someone to give financial advice, but it is just if you were worried about Solana inflation, the time to be worried was 2025 at $253. The time to be worried about Solana inflation isn't, 3 or 4x lower, and I'm sure you would agree.
Yeah, definitely. What I just don't know is the exact inflation rate, but what I do know is that the inflation per year is like decreasing. I don't know the exact number, but the inflation is getting less in percent, right? Like it was 8%, 8.5% now, then it was 7.6. Like, yes, this is also where the staking yield comes from, partially. But it's getting less. That's the one thing. And then there's the other thing that there's so much stuff built on Sol, same as on Ethereum, and same as you finally had Vitalik, Vitalik from Ethereum, not our homeboy Vitalizing, obviously, uh, who said that something needs to change in the Ethereum ecosystem and that it makes no sense that all the L2s like Polygon and Arbitrum, whatever, is built on Ethereum. It makes no sense that the gas fees are paid then and exclusively in Arbitrum, right? Because what makes sense is if you are the infrastructure provider as an L1, that you at least partially tax the L2s using your infrastructure. And if that would get enabled, and I think it will throughout the bear cycle into the next bull cycle, this is an incredible catalyst, as an example, for Ethereum, and which could also count for Solana, where so much is built on that, that you could say, okay, cool. If you keep it modest, like whatever, 10% of the gas is like not that the user has to pay gas in Ethereum when he's using Arbitrum, but that Arbitrum is forced to swap 10% of the gas that you're using into native Ethereum as a buyback and burn or so, just to catapult the price and just kind of forget that those possibilities exist. I'm not saying that this is happening tomorrow, but this is where crypto is headed. That there must be a respect for the infrastructure. And with that stuff evolving, you will have a vastly different landscape in crypto. Time to blow all my load and buy Sol. Aqua gave me financial advice. Yes, exactly. Hold him accountable.
I'm excited, man. I really am. I just think that from a level of maturity and market stomach, I mean, I can't believe it's been 5 or 6 years now, but you look at when I came in the market for real in 2021. I was young, like had other priorities, and like generally, I guess the best time to get introduced to crypto probably was during the NFT era. Now, granted, no good deeds went unpunished there, and it definitely was a painful fallout. Um, but that was great conditioning. And then these past few years, seeing everything unwind, right? Like, remember, I'm still holding r- my spot positions. I've done nothing to them other than add more. And I just think it's really crazy because 5 years ago, I would not have been able to be as calm as I am right now. and I don't know if it's because of maturity or maybe intelligence or just overall like climate of my own personal situation changing that is empowering me to like ride this out and really commit. But I just know that this is going to be the bear market for me where I could come in, really buy the floor, and not have to take haircuts on strong positions to fund stupid purchases. And that's like one thing to me that is really really exciting because there's hope again. There's a lot of hope, and all you need is hope to turn it into a rally. And then when you get a little rally, there will be euphoria again, and who knows what buttons will click this time. I can't tell the future. I might never click the red buttons. I might just hold them till I'm 50.
Yeah, but I definitely get 100% what you mean. And I think this is a nice closing phrase or like a thought with all the analysis that we like, especially in a bear market, right? There's always, or when I was like calling for somewhat of a top in the last months and people were like, hey, this is negative or whatever. This is not negative. This is like all in a positive note, especially as you just said, because depending on the time that you're in, how's there the saying like one man's trash is another man's fortune or treasure. And I think this holds extremely true in these conditions that we have right now, because everyone is able to work something. Everyone is able to have an online side hustle, especially with communities like we have and friends like we have here. Everyone is allowed to have a side job in real life. And therefore, everyone has an opportunity to reload portfolios, be it silver, be it your 2, 3 favorite stocks, and be it the super boring barbell in crypto that you say, you know what? For me, there, like a barbell is like 2 assets, I know, but what I mean is like rather like your favorite 3 assets, which could be based on revenue and like importance, is just as boring as just Bitcoin, just hype, and then for some extreme upside, it's like a combo of Solana and Ethereum, and that's it. My Monero, I just have for not for the financial return, but for the financial sovereignty, for the anonymity, because I believe this is true crypto. And that's how basic a portfolio can, and in my opinion, also should look like. You have a few assets. This is your focus. Has nothing to do with your day trades or swing trades in between. But what I can make a recommend right now is just thinking about the possibility of buying some Bitcoin. And also, if you trade low leverage or whatever, you can also just use Bitcoin instead of USDC as a collateral. And when you feel like there is somewhat of a bottom, you can just use your Bitcoin to long some Bitcoin with 1x leverage and ride the wave. And if you feel like you're right with this momentum shift, you start digging more into trading, you start digging more into liquidity providing again. But what is absolutely safe is regarding airdrops or whatever, right now with less open interest and with less market participants, probably right now, it's easier to farm points and get future rewards than in the bull market when you literally have 50 billion volume every day fighting against you compared to right now just a few 100 million on a platform. This can be a factor of 10 or 20x, which means that your $100 are worth the equivalent of 4 digits 2 months ago. And I think this is a very, very important thought to take away, not to lose hope, but as you said, this is the time to be excited rather, because you are finally able to buy 0.1 Bitcoin again, buy a full Bitcoin.
Super awesome. Super awesome.
Thank you so much for tuning in and having this conversation with me. It was the perfect timing. Let's catch up sometime again soon in the next days. Hope to see you guys in the next stream in a week again, same time. Infinite Discord in 2 weeks. It's here again at the same time. And I think like those weekly talks, like it's really bundled. It's like 1 hour, maybe like 1 hour was the stream itself. And maybe a little chat around. And you ticked off your analysis for the week. You spoke to some homies. I think it's a little bit better than talking to your neighbor. Because
yeah,
we can be really happy to be here. Yeah. Yeah. Like some dude at work that has like a $12 portfolio and is trying to gaslight you into thinking he knows some shit.
Yeah.
Whatever.
100%.
Okay, cool. Thank you so
Later,
much. I'm going to jump now.